No, I was just gonna go inside and say I hate this bike, but turns out I had a tube, so this just became a tire and tube replacement tutorial. So you're gonna take whatever size your bolt is on your bike and loosen the bolt. Tight. There we go. And just loosen them. And with my bike, it has a derailleur, so I need to find an Allen key. Of which I turn out to have a million of, for some reason. Let's see if any of these are the right size. Yes. And then just loosen, if you have a derailleur, loosen that too.
Make sure you shut the garage if you go anywhere, okay?
Yep. You leaving to pick him up?
Yeah.
Okay. And then move your derailleur out of the way. Make sure all your bolts are actually loose. I've had a few times where they were a little tight, and then that's on there. What are you stuck on? Imagination. Hopes and dreams, perchance. And then if you have an e-bike, make sure to disconnect the wheel as I just forgot to do, so you don't mess it up. And then you're gonna want your tire spoon. Most tubes that you buy will come with a plastic one. I got a really nice metal one, but the plastic ones are about half the size of this one, so less leverage, but it's still about the same thing you have to do. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it right under this bead. You see how I'm doing it, and then you just slide it along the tire. If you're just replacing your tire, make sure you don't catch up on the tube, because that does happen. Other times, these are just really hard to take off. And then once you get it started, depending on how many times you've taken off your tire, you should just be able to do as I'm doing right here. And then if you're also just replacing your tire, make sure not to damage that piece right there. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna take it and push it out. Oh, mine's in there. And now, what some people like to do, including me, is I'll take it out and find what punctured my tire or where it's punctured. And as you can see, I have slime in my tire. And to me, that looks like it blew out. Not even gonna bother. That's a blowout. throw your tire away or throw your tube away if it's damaged. And then either you can clean this tire out and reuse it, but make sure it has no thorns or anything in it. But for me, I got a new one. So then what you do, some people like to put a little bit of air in these. It depends on the kind of person you are, but I can just all right, now you can see it's looking a bit round. Call me disgusting if you want, I don't care. That's your opinion, not mine. And you'll want to find rotation of your tire. Yes, these do go a certain way. I have run into a few people who don't know that. And you can either tell by looking at the tread or the sidewall, and it should point an arrow. Mine does. It goes this way. And an easy way to tell if you're going in the right direction is look at your brakes. Mine will go on this side. So an easy way to put it is just keep your wheel where your brakes are, facing up like mine is. And what I will usually do is I will put the tube inside the tire. It doesn't matter the direction of the tube, because the tube's going to be inside your tire. Some bikes do not have tubes. Just depends on the bike you have and the rim you have. But all my bikes have tubes, so I can't show what you would do without a tube. And then you will find your valve hole. And it's way easier if you set it down. Slide your valve in. You might have to give it a little bit of encouragement. Guide it in there. You know, you get the gist. There we go. And then make sure your tube is not poking anywhere, poking out of the tire anywhere as you're doing this. But you want to slide it on all the way around. Now this does get more and more difficult as you continue. Don't worry, it's normal. And then if it suddenly gets easier, that's fine. And then I usually work one side at a time just to make it a little bit easier. And then, bam, that side's on. And then if this happens to you, where this side is out, just do the same thing that you did on the other side. Just be careful that you don't pinch the tube. What I'm gonna do for this tube is also put some slime in it. I showed you last video, but I'll show you again. So that you can see what it actually does this time. Now yes, putting on this tire will be a workout. You take out your core. Let's see if this one has any slime in it pre-installed. No, as you can see, that is clean. That typically means you don't have anything to seal up the tube if it gets a puncture. Let me go grab my slime bottle. Same slime bottle. make sure to pull your valve all the way out. Like that. And then insert the hose into your fitting. Oh, and yes, this does tend to run away from you, so just push in the back where the tube is and then squeeze it. You know, get some slime in there. I think that should be good. You know what? I could put a little bit more in there to be safe. All right, that should be good. And then don't forget this step. This step typically gets forgotten out of anything if you forget anything in this. This tiny little piece, you can lose these pretty easily. Make sure it stays near the tire while you're putting in slime or whatever sealant you use. And then tighten it in. It doesn't have to be insanely tight. Boom, just like that. And put the cap on. Now this part is optional. You can either air it up first or put it onto the bike first. I like to put mine on the bike first to make installation easier. It also makes it a lot easier to install first. If you have clamp brakes, they will clamp onto the rim. And then take it over to your bike. Okay, I thought I installed the tire wrong. Let me just double check. Yep, rotation is in the right area. It's hot out here today. And then, not very many places. I'll put you guys right there. You're gonna want to put your chain on first before sliding the full tire on, because then you won't have a chain otherwise to pedal with. A lot of people mess up this part. I have to. Don't worry, it's normal to mess it up. Everybody messes something up their first few times repairing bikes. It's fine. Great way to get a little bit of a workout in. And then make sure it slides into that frame. This part may be a bit tricky, because you got to get it in just right. All right. Aha. Now why don't this start gonna go in? Like I said, tricky. And then just tighten down your bolts. You know, what most people would normally do. Make sure to tighten down your bolts. Because don't want your wheel falling off. Hasn't happened to me yet. But there's always a first time for everything. And then if you took off your derailleur, remember to put that thing back on. That's not the right Allen key. This one is. Tighten it up. And what you can do is also tighten up your brakes, but I don't think I should need to. But never know. Aha. Make sure your chain is on in the right spots. Otherwise it can make a grinding noise or whatnot. I've had that happen a few times. And then if you have an e-bike, make sure to plug in your motor. It's been a few times that I forgot to plug in my motor. And then test, make sure your brakes aren't rubbing. It's not too bad. I can loosen up my brakes a little bit. For me, I have disc brakes, but these ones are... Am I tightening this by accident? No, okay. Loosen up your brakes a little bit if they're rubbing. It doesn't really hurt it too bad to loosen them up a little bit, and then I'll just adjust those later after the video. And then grab your air compressor or your bike pump or whatever you own. If you've got an air compressor plugged in, get it running while you bring your bike over. Now you won't be able to hear me, but I'll point to what you need to make the contacts touch. There we go. My outlet turned off for some reason. It does that sometimes. Put you guys over here, turn it on, and now you won't be able to hear me. Okay, you saw me rub around the tire. That's to make sure the tire did not come off the bead. If that happens, air down your tire, fix it, and then air it up slowly. It can happen a few times, but trust me, you will get air in there. there you have it. Tire replacement and tube replacement. There you go.